Here, etched into the very fabric of our world, is a land of profound contrasts and enduring spirit. For millennia, it has been a crucible of empires, a crossroads of cultures, and a stage for some of the most dramatic chapters in human history. In the next 15 minutes, we will journey across this remarkable and often misunderstood nation, Afghanistan. We will trace its story upon the map, explore the lives of its people, and seek to understand the forces, both ancient and modern, that have shaped its destiny. This is a land where the echoes of the past resonate powerfully in the present, a place of stark beauty and immense resilience. Our exploration will begin with the fundamental question of geography. Where precisely is this nation, and what does its position on our planet reveal about its character? Our world is a mosaic of land masses, and at the very nexus of South and Central Asia lies a nation defined by its geography. This is Afghanistan. It occupies a space of approximately 652,000 square kilometers, a territory carved not by gentle plains, but by the formidable might of tectonic forces. It is a domain of soaring mountains and high, arid plateaus, a physical reality that has dictated the flow of history, trade, and conquest for countless generations. Its strategic position has made it a bridge, a barrier, and a prize, connecting disparate worlds while fiercely maintaining its own unique identity. To truly grasp its scale, we can see how this landmass compares to others. It is a country roughly the size of the American state of Texas, slightly larger than France. But unlike those regions, its usable land is dramatically constrained by its verticality. The great spine of the Hindukush runs through its heart like a colossal artery of rock and ice, influencing climate, agriculture, and the distribution of its people. This rugged topography has created isolated valleys where distinct cultures have flourished. Yet it has also made governance and unity a perpetual challenge throughout its long and storied past. This is a high-altitude world. Much of the country sits thousands of feet above sea level, shaping life in the most fundamental ways. One of the most defining features of Afghanistan's geography is its complete lack of access to the open ocean. It is a landlocked realm, encased on all sides by its neighbors. Looking to the north, we find a trio of Central Asian republics. The Amu Darya, one of the great rivers of antiquity, forms a significant part of the border with Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan. To the west, it shares a long and historically significant border with Iran, a cultural and political frontier that has shifted over millennia. To the south and east lies its longest and most complex boundary, the Durand Line, which separates it from Pakistan. This border cuts through ethnic and tribal heartlands, a source of political tension since its inception in the late 19th century, influencing the lives of millions. In the far northeast, tucked away in one of the most remote and inaccessible corners of the planet, is the Wakhan corridor. This narrow panhandle of territory, a peculiar artifact of 19th century geopolitics, extends to touch the edge of China. This short border, only about 76 kilometers long, traverses some of the highest and most inhospitable terrain on Earth. Here, in these formidable, sun-scorched lands, a story not of nature, but of nations, unfolds. For centuries, this territory has been a stage for the grand ambitions of empires. The 19th century saw the British Empire cast its long shadow over this rugged domain. 3 times, British forces marched into these valleys and passes, driven by the strategic anxieties of the Great Game, a contest against the Russian Tsars. These conflicts were brutal, costly, and ultimately inconclusive, forging in the Afghan people a profound and unyielding spirit of resistance, a spirit as enduring as the mountains themselves. The turning point arrives in the year 1919. A new leader, Amanullah Khan, ascends to the throne, filled with a vision for a modern, self-determined Afghanistan. Seizing this moment of global flux, he declares complete independence, challenging Britain's long-held control over Afghanistan's foreign policy. The declaration ignites the Third Anglo-Afghan War, brief but intensely symbolic. With the Treaty of Rawalpindi in August 1919, Britain formally recognized Afghanistan's complete sovereignty. The late 20th century would bring a new and turbulent chapter to this ancient land. Following the withdrawal of Soviet forces, a devastating civil war saw a new power emerge from the religious schools of the South. They called themselves the Taliban. By the mid-1990s, their austere presence swept across the country. In 1996, they captured the capital, Kabul. Timeline: 1996, 2001, 2004, 2021. Their rule was severe, reshaping the social fabric. For 5 years, the world watched this isolated regime govern from those streets. The attacks of September 11, 2001, in the United States set in motion a chain of events that put Afghanistan back at the center of global conflict. Accused of harboring the orchestrators, the Taliban regime prompted a US-led coalition to launch a swift invasion in late 2001. The Taliban's grip crumbled with astonishing speed. In the wake of their fall, a new era began with a massive international presence. A grand project to build a modern democratic state was launched. A new constitution was adopted in 2004, establishing the Islamic Republic with representative institutions. For nearly 2 decades, that government ruled, progress and grinding conflict side by side. A generation grew up reconnecting with the world, experiencing freedoms their parents had not known. But the conflict never truly ended. The Taliban waged a relentless insurgency from the countryside. Then, in August 2021, as international forces withdrew, the political and military landscape shifted with breathtaking velocity. In days, institutions collapsed. The Taliban swept back across the country and recaptured Kabul. A cycle had completed itself, and a new, uncertain chapter had begun for 40 million people. Perhaps no story is more central to the recent history of Afghanistan than that of its women. Their fate is a barometer of the nation's social and political climate, and a measure of the prevailing winds of ideology. Before the late 20th century turmoil, and during the Islamic Republic, in urban centers like Kabul and Herat, women carved out a significant space in public life. They were students, they were professors, they were doctors, they were lawyers, they were artists, they were politicians. They walked university halls, contributed to the economy, and their voices were entering corridors of power. But that progress was brutally reversed with the Taliban's first rise in 1996. From 1996 to 2001, severe restrictions erased women from public view. Girls' schools were shuttered. Women were barred from working outside the home, with a few exceptions in healthcare. They were mandated to wear the burqa and forbidden to leave home without a male guardian, a mahram. The 2 decades after 2001 brought a fragile, uneven restoration. A new generation flocked to schools, dreaming futures their mothers only imagined. Women re-entered the workforce, started businesses, joined politics, some winning seats in parliament. With the Taliban's return in 2021, history cruelly repeated itself for many women. A cascade of edicts curtailed rights. Higher education was suspended, work restricted, public spaces closed. The potential of millions was put on hold, their futures circumscribed. It is a profound human tragedy, a story of immense loss, unfolding in a land that has known far too much of it. Here, amidst the rugged terrain, human settlements have blossomed, evolving over millennia into bustling hubs of life and commerce. The most prominent of these is Kabul, the nation's capital. Nestled high in a narrow valley between the Hindukush Mountains, it is the pulse of economic and cultural life. A crossroads on the ancient Silk Road, its urban landscape tells a story of persistence. Further south lies Kandahar, historical heartland of the Pashtun people and first capital of modern Afghanistan. Its markets once overflowed with goods from across the continent. To the west, Herat, cornerstone of the Timurid Empire, flourished in arts, poetry, and architecture. Its citadel and Friday Mosque remain icons. In the north, Mazar-i-Sharif is dominated by the azure-domed shrine of Ali, drawing pilgrims from far and wide. Meanwhile, Ghazni, once capital of a vast empire, still whispers its past through ruins and towering minarets. These cities anchor commerce and memory. They are living archives of Afghanistan's strategic position and enduring spirit. The character of this land is dictated by its dramatic and often unforgiving climate. It is a realm of extremes. The south and west are arid and semi-arid, where life clings to the promise of water. Summers can bake the earth into a cracked canvas. High-altitude zones bring thin air and severe winters. Deep snows feed the rivers upon which all life depends. Agriculture has been the backbone for millennia, irrigated valleys sustaining seasonal cycles of planting and harvest. Alongside the fields, herding provides sustenance, materials, and mobile wealth across rugged terrain. Small-scale trade connects remote villages. Remittances from abroad are lifelines amid limited opportunity. Informal, perilous mining taps rich deposits, from lapis lazuli to copper and iron, within a shadow economy born of necessity. In this predominantly arid land, water is the ultimate currency. The Helmand, rising west of Kabul, flows over 1,000 kilometers, carving fertility through the south and sustaining Helmand and Kandahar. It ends in the Sistan Basin, where wetlands depend on its flow. To the north, the Amu Darya, known as the Oxus, flows from Pamir glaciers, forming borders with Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan. A shared river brings cooperation and occasional tension across nations. Its floodplains create a northern breadbasket distinct from the southern deserts fed by the Helmand. Together, one internal and one shared, they are pillars of life and civilization in a mountainous land. Water defines destiny here, shaping livelihoods, borders, and the rhythm of survival. Etched into mountains and valleys are silent witnesses to millennia. Ghazni, jewel of the Ghaznavids, was a beacon of Islamic civilization, a center for science, poetry, and art. Its remnants still speak of a magnificent past. Kandahar's strategic position shaped empires. As first capital of the modern Afghan state, its blue-tiled mausoleum is a national symbol. Bamiyan, a Silk Road Buddhist center, once held colossal Buddhas that stood for 1,500 years, destroyed in 2001, leaving haunting, empty niches. Agriculture is the backbone. Wheat is the staple grain. Pomegranates of Kandahar are legendary. Grapes dry to raisins, apricots to chewy perfection, symbols of natural bounty. Afghan food is hearty, aromatic, communal, centered on Kabili pulao. Steamed rice, tender lamb, carrots and raisins, almonds and pistachios. Kebabs sizzle over charcoal. Naan is the essential utensil. Dairy is central. Dew and karut balancing richness. Fields and kitchens reveal adaptation to a challenging, yet generous environment. A patchwork of green and gold sustains life and culture across the mountains. Afghanistan is a rich mosaic of peoples, heard in the languages they speak. Two languages rise above the rest. Dari, the lingua franca of state and cities. Pashto, the language of the Pashtun heartlands. Dari anchors administration, high literature, and bustling urban markets. Pashto thrives in mountains and southern plains, rich in oral poetry, proverbs, and the code of Pashtunwali. Beyond them, Uzbek, Turkmen, and many smaller tongues in remote regions, each a unique culture. The overwhelming majority of Afghans find their spiritual home within Islam, primarily Sunni, Hanafi, with Shia communities, especially among the Hazara. Faith shapes daily life, milestones, and community bonds. Hindus and Sikhs remain as small, dwindling minorities, Christians are even fewer, together well under 1%. Reliable, contemporary data is scarce. Figures should be approached with caution. Yet these threads of diversity persist within one of the world's most religiously homogeneous landscapes. The ability to read and write has been fragile and hard-won in Afghanistan. Overall literacy has historically been among the lowest in the world. Rugged terrain, endemic conflict, and deep poverty have constrained access. Two post-2001 decades saw schools built, teachers trained, and a new generation holding books. Estimates suggested adult literacy tentatively climbed into the 30 to 50% range. Progress was uneven, urban versus rural divides, and a vast gap between men and women. Before 2021, female literacy was often half that of males, or less. After 2021, restrictions on girls' and women's education threatened to reverse hard-won gains. Updated statistics are scarce. The long-term impact on an entire generation's intellectual capital is a story still unfolding. A nation's lifeblood is the flow of goods, vital for landlocked Afghanistan. Fuel, vehicles, foodstuffs, and machinery, from simple water pumps to communications equipment, must cross borders. Exports reveal natural wealth, renowned fruits, often dried for distant markets. Hand-knotted carpets, stories woven in wool and silk, are celebrated worldwide. A shadow economy, opium poppy, has long impacted rural livelihoods and stability. Untapped minerals, iron, copper, cobalt, lithium, represent vast potential, constrained by security, investment, and infrastructure. GDP is a vital sign of an economy reshaped by 2021's seismic shifts. The end of large aid inflows led to contraction and rebalancing. With limited data, projections for 2025 often hover in the low tens of billions of US dollars. This number aggregates farmers, merchants, and nascent enterprises striving for equilibrium. It misses the informal economy and the human cost of hardship and resilience. GDP is a snapshot, crucial yet incomplete, of material well-being in a nation whose wealth includes unyielding spirit and connection to land. The official tender is the Afghani, AFN, a currency weathering turbulence and transformation. As of mid-2024, one United States dollar might acquire approximately 70 Afghanis, a snapshot subject to volatility. At the same point in time, one Indian rupee would be just under one Afghani, a dynamic relationship driven by trade and trajectories. Rates ripple through daily life, pricing imports and shaping margins. Afghanistan's ISD code is plus 93, the digital gateway linking loved ones, trade, and aid. Across mountains and remote valleys, towers rise to connect millions. Plus 193 carries immense emotional weight for a global diaspora. Exchange rates and country codes are moving threads in Afghanistan's economic and social tapestry. Our journey across the map and through the centuries of Afghanistan's story comes to a close. We have traversed its formidable mountain ranges, followed the paths of its ancient rivers, and glimpsed the lives of its resilient people. From the echoes of empires in Ghazni to the vibrant pulse of Kabul's markets, we have seen a nation defined by its strategic location and shaped by profound historical forces. Its story is written daily in fields, in classrooms, and in the hearts of people at home and abroad. Look beyond headlines, explore the sources linked below, consult the data, continue your own journey of discovery. If this exploration offered a new perspective, please like and subscribe to enable more journeys. Thank you for joining us on this expedition. The world is full of wonders and challenges, and the quest to understand it is a journey without end. Let us keep learning together.